Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna cough on you first thing. Get that out of the way. Usually I start off with my chocolate fudge, but this time I'm gonna start with my peanut butter fudge. The easiest peanut butter fudge you will ever make in your life. I used to make a peanut butter fudge where I had to mix in a bunch of powdered sugar and stuff. No, just get one. It's an 18 ounce, but you're supposed to get 1/16 ounce of each, but this is close enough. And a 16 ounce of frosting. I'm gonna put it in my bowl and melt it together. That is regular peanut butter fudge. And this is gonna be chocolate peanut butter fudge. You do peanut butter. I just get the stuff at Aldi and a chocolate frosting. No whipped frosting, just a plain Jane chocolate and vanilla frosting. And those will be our first two fudges. So I'm only doing 4 fudges this year, which is weird to me because I usually do a crap ton, but I had to cut down. Okay, I got my vanilla and my peanut butter in here. Put it in for like 30 seconds and stir, 30 seconds and stir. Because if you put it in there too long at one shot, you could scorch your peanut butter. And let me just say, this has happened to me. That's why I'm warning you. Make sure you're on top of it. So let's start making the peanut butter fudge. Okay, I did 30 seconds, stir, 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 30 seconds, stir, stir, stir. And then this is a lightly sprayed pan. I accidentally heavily sprayed it, so I took a paper towel and wiped it into another one. Since I have room in the fridge, I want to pop this in the fridge because this is a soft fudge. It will crumble. It's easy to cut, which I like, but I want to put this in the fridge. And then when Dad gets home, I will have him put it out in the garage since it's very cold out there. And that's where it'll stay until I cut it up. All right, next one, chocolate brother. Okay, peanut butter chocolate. I wanted it a little bit swirly, so I tried to keep some of the peanut butter from totally just going in with the chocolate. How I did it, I don't know, but I got the swirly look I wanted, and now he's gonna go live in the refrigerator with his sister to chill out. Chocolate peanut butter, complete. Now for the other way to make fudge. 3 cups of semi-sweet morsels with 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Make it one big family. I'll melt it together in a bowl. This one will take a few because you're doing with chips, so it's usually like 30 stir, 30 stir, 30 stir until you get to a smooth consistency. Then I'll put a splash of vanilla in there, stir it up, and throw it in the pan. And then I used to do ones where I would add nuts and things. This year I'm just not doing nut fudge. It's just so hard for me to cut up, and it just got really painful last year, so I cut down. Dang it. Okay, bye. Okay, here's my batch of chocolate, which I'm just going to serve around the counter. This is a very different consistency than the peanut butter fudge. This is a very thicker, harder fudge. I mean, it's soft right now, but the peanut butter one is very delicate. But now I will do this again, but then I'll put in a splash of peppermint and some peppermint bits. And that'll be my last fudge. It's weird only doing this many, but it is what it is. There's the peppermint fudge. I put some of the crunchies inside of it, and then I sprinkle a little on top to give it a little zhuzh. Okay, now we're gonna go on to doing barks. Peppermint bark time. I'll be using this vanilla almond bark, again, from Aldi. One of these. Back in the day, they used to come in like 2-ounce cubes. You just pop them out and throw them there. Now you gotta break these things apart. And it could be a challenge. And then one's gonna be white peppermint bark with a little splash of peppermint extract, and then another one will be the chocolate with peppermints and extract. And then we dump it out on a pan, but I got to get the pan covered in foil first. You get your bark smooth, you put in a splash of peppermint extract, however many peppermint bits you want, smear it on a tray. I topped it with a little more peppermint bits, and this is going to go in the fridge to set up. Okay, chocolate peppermint bark is done. It's going in the refrigerator to get cold. Okay, the last thing I'm making tonight is a batch of peanut brittle. In my bowl, I have 1 cup of sugar, between 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 cups of peanuts, and a 1/2 cup of light corn syrup. I'm gonna try to give this a zhuzh around. That I want to put in the microwave for 4 minutes. That's kind of what it looks like after I stir it. And this is definitely something kids should not make. This is going to be a very hot thing. It's going to be like molten lava. because when this comes out after 4 minutes, I'm going to put in a teaspoon of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla extract and stir it up. Also, you need a very well buttered pan. I always use our pizza pan every year for this. It always works great. But butter that thing up, man. I got my little slice of butter. I just take a slice off the end of my butter, and I'm waiting for the thing to beep. I'll pour in this, it'll sizzle. And then you want to stir it up real good. And then put it back in for like 40 seconds. I just put my butter and vanilla in here, and I got to get this stirred up really well and put it back in there. But like I said, it is very, very hot. You will get burned very easily if you're not careful. I have done it. I have my teaspoon of baking. Is this baking soda or powder? What is this? What is this? Baking soda. I was correct. This has got to be a very fast step. As soon as that comes out of the microwave, you put this in and stir it up, and it'll be like a chemical reaction. It'll make it like frothy, and then you got to get it on the pan and smear it around with your spoon. But I got to do this fast, so I can't really film it. But you'll see it once it gets on the pan. There it is. Once you turn it on the pan, you just got to let it sit here and harden up. I'll break this up later. And now I'm just going to go run water in this because it's got to soak, because it's like hard crystal-y candy in there now. And so that'll get washed later too. But that's all I'm making for tonight. My shoulders are like, stop, Stacy, stop. So we'll continue. Well, for you, it'll be like a flash. Bye. I'm back again tonight. I'm breaking up this bark. Hands are clean. I just washed them, scrubby dub them. And I'm putting in here, I'm going to mix up the white and the chocolate and the vanilla. So let's break them up. The last thing, I promise this is the last thing I'm going to do tonight. Break up the brittle. I'll probably break it into smaller pieces tomorrow. Right now I'm just getting in here, sealed up for the night. Now, really, this is good night for this Friday night. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, Saturday's here. I've already done one batch of peanut brittle, and I might even do some cashew brittle this year. I don't know yet. It is Oreo bark time. I got a family size packs because I got them on sale, but I didn't use quite the whole pack. I used almost 2 full sleeves and a couple. Once I start stirring in the chocolate, I'll know. It's kind of like feel it out type thing, because sometimes you think, oh, I put way too many cookies in there, but then it works out. And a pack of this, which I've already broke up into here, and all this is this and this thrown on a sheet. That is it. But now I got to melt my white chocolate. Okay, I just got this all stirred up and onto a tray. I know you're like, is it gonna work? It'll work. I gotta put it in the refrigerator right now and let it chill, and I'm gonna make another batch, another tray of it to put in there. Okay, my Oreo bark has been in there about an hour, and I'm breaking it up. I've already done one pan. I'm on my second pan. Freshly washed hands, always. I just got done scrubbing stuff in the sink, actually. So I'm gonna break this up, and then Oreo bark will be complete. Okay, broke up my other peanut brittle. I'll have another batch of that on here in a minute. But cashew clusters, not cluster. We just melt down this, put a little splash of vanilla in there, pour in the nuts, stir it up until you think it's good for you. I don't know how to tell you how many, because I'm doing the whole put in there to see how it goes. And then I will dollop them on cookie sheets with a spoon. Easy peasy. There we go, cashew clusters plopped on my sheets, and they're gonna get put into the refrigerator to chill up. And so, you know, I end up using about half of this container. Right now I'm gonna make my first batch of cashew brittle. I'll make some of that this year. There's my first batch of cashew bark on the pan, and a tiny piece of molten lava flew out and hit me right there in the red spot. So that was fun. Woke me up a little bit though. So now we wait for this to set and the nut clusters, the cashew clusters to set up, and then we'll be back. I still got peanut clusters to do today. Maybe another batch of peanut brittle or another batch of cashew brittle. Okay, it only took like maybe 30, 45 minutes to get these chilled up where I could just put them in this container and I'll pop them back in the fridge and they'll go out in the garage a little later. Next will be the same thing, only with peanuts. Now I have my trays of peanut clusters getting ready to go in the fridge to firm up. Okay, it's a snowy Sunday morning, but I have 2 more things to make today. Avalanche cookies. I always have to look at the recipe for this. I'm going to tell you what it is for a single batch. I doubled it. In this bowl is a half a cup of peanut butter and a pound of white chocolate chips, which I'm going to melt together. And then when they come out, you want to stir in 2 cups of Rice Krispie treats and a cup of mini marshmallows. Stir them up real fast and make drop cookies with them. Sometimes the marshmallow will be a little chunk. You don't want it to melt totally. So I might have to get another bowl out to stir this all up in, because I don't know. I got to see how much this melt down. But yeah, that's an Avalanche cookie. Okay, I ended up having to get out a bigger bowl, and this is the 3rd tray. This is the last of it. They just look like clumps of brown. This is probably one of my favorite tasting ones. I like these no-bake cookies. Only one more thing left to make. Okay, these have been in the refrigerator long enough for me to just put them in a container. So that is the Avalanche cookie, and we're getting ready to set up for the very last thing. Last but not least, candied pecans. I'm going to tell you the recipe to just do a pound. I'm doing 2 pounds, but in this bowl is your liquid, which is 1 egg white, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 2 teaspoons of water that you mix up. And then in this bag is a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of salt. So what we want to do is dump your pecans in the liquid and stir them around till they get coated. And then you're going to dump them in the bag, shake them up. I've got them shaken up. They're all coated. I want to dump them on the pan. I have my oven heating to 240 degrees. I'll tell you more when I get these on my pan. Okay, here they are. I'm going to pop them in my 240 oven. And for about an hour or so, and about every 15 minutes, you want to go in and give them a zhuzh around with, I'm going to go wash my wooden spoon and use that. So see you in a bit when I'm zhuzhing. I just zhuzhed my pecans for the first time, but I always buy 1 extra brick of chocolate in case I have nuts left. So that's what we're doing. We're using up this last brick of chocolate to make some more nut clusters. I'm gonna put all the peanuts in there, and then if I think I need more nuts, I'll put some of the cashews in there. Okay, I've been zhuzhing these every so often. Now they're gonna sit here and dry a little bit, and then I'll put them in a container. Finally done. So that is my treat making video.